Okay, so let's unpack this.
Right.
What if an asset's real value isn't just its physical form or, the usual financial numbers?
It comes from the network, the actual people who use it, who
Yeah,
trust it.
exactly. The size and sort of the dynamism of that network. Today, we're doing a deep dive into gold, Apple, and Bitcoin, using this network as asset idea to see what really makes them tick.
Yeah, and what's so interesting is just how diverse these networks are. You've got this, like, ancient consensus for gold.
Right.
Then these really carefully engineered digital ecosystems like Apple and, well, decentralized protocols like Bitcoin. We can explore the economic moats they build, those competitive advantages.
And maybe confront that idea of a single apex asset.
Exactly. It's about giving you a fuller picture.
So this is where it gets really interesting, I think. It all kicks off with network effects, right? Where something gets more valuable the more people use it, like Metcalfe's law. That idea that value grows with the square of the users, V proportional to N squared.
Yeah, it's exponential growth, not just linear, which helps the leaders build those really strong economic moats, makes it tough for competitors.
Okay, so Apple. You said they're engineered. How does that work?
Well, Apple's really a masterclass here. They have multiple layers. You've got direct network effects like iMessage, the famous blue bubble.
Ah, yes.
The more friends you have using it, the better it is for you. Then there are indirect effects in the App Store. Huge ecosystem, like $643 billion back in 2020.
Wow.
More users pull in more developers make cooler apps, which pull in more users. It's a virtuous cycle.
Okay.
And maybe the most unique part is the intrapersonal effect, how your own Apple devices, iPhone, MacBook, Watch, all work together seamlessly.
Right, the ecosystem lock-in.
Exactly. It makes switching away really difficult, or at least costly in terms of convenience.
That makes sense for Apple's engineered world. But let's shift gears. Gold. You called it a primordial network. How does that ancient network actually hold value today?
It's fundamentally different. Gold's network isn't just old, it's, well, you could say anti-fragile.
Right.
Its value comes from this global, decentralized trust built over thousands of years.
Trust built how?
Reinforced by its physical properties, it doesn't corrode, it's divisible, fungible, and this whole circle of integrity. Think about the London Good Delivery System.
Okay.
It's a robust global setup of refiners, vaults, banks that guarantee the authenticity, the weight, the purity of gold bars. This trust network is older than any government. It survived countless empires and currencies. It's like financial bedrock.
Bedrock. Okay, that's a powerful contrast. So then Bitcoin, it's digital like Apple, but aims to be trustless and permissionless. How does it stack up?
Right, so Bitcoin's base layer, layer 1, uses a peer-to-peer blockchain. Security comes from proof of work.
The energy-intensive mining part.
Exactly. Miners solve complex computational puzzles to validate transactions. This makes it incredibly hard for any single entity to cheat the system to pull off a 51% attack.
But it's slow, right?
Yeah. It is, deliberately so. It prioritizes security and decentralization above all else. So you're looking at maybe 3 to 7 transactions per second on layer 1.
Which isn't practical for buying coffee.
Not really. And that's precisely why you have layer 2 solutions built on top, like the Lightning Network.
Okay, Lightning. What does that do for you?
It lets you transact instantly off the main blockchain with almost zero fees. This makes tiny payments, micropayments, down to a single Satoshi, which is tiny fraction of a Bitcoin, totally feasible. It drastically cuts the utility cost for everyday transactions.
Interesting. Okay, let's talk access, entry barriers. How do they compare?
Well, this is a key difference. Self-custodied Bitcoin, it needs zero identity checks, truly permissionless. Anyone can participate.
Okay, and capital.
For capital, Apple's accessible. You can buy fractional shares for maybe $1, and Bitcoin is divisible down to that tiny Satoshi. So both are very accessible from a minimum capital standpoint. But Bitcoin has a high technical hurdle for safe self-custody, holding your own keys.
Not your keys, not your coins.
Exactly. It gives you absolute control, true sovereignty, but also absolute responsibility. If you lose your keys,
It's gone.
gone forever. Estimates suggest maybe 20% of all Bitcoin is already lost like that. That's a huge trade-off compared to, say, losing your bank card.
Yeah, definitely a trade-off. And we can't really talk apex asset without hitting volatility, can we?
No, you really can't. Gold is known for being relatively stable. It's often seen as a safe haven in turmoil.
Right.
Apple stock, volatile. It moves with company news, earnings, market sentiment.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is well, extremely volatile,
Huh.
often 60–80% annualized volatility. It behaves much more like a risky tech stock than a stable store of value, at least currently.
So wrapping this up then, where does this leave us? Is there a winner?
I think what it really shows is there isn't one single apex asset. They're optimized for different things. Gold, it's optimized for long-term preservation, proven anti-fragility.
Okay.
Apple is about participating in productive economic growth within its very well-managed digital garden, let's say.
The Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is fundamentally about censorship resistance and sovereign ownership, operating outside traditional systems in a trustless way.
So ultimately, the choice for you, the listener, really depends on your own financial goals, your time horizon, your tolerance for risk.
Absolutely.
The strategic insight here isn't about picking one winner, is it? It's more about understanding how these very different network assets might actually complement each other in a portfolio.
Precisely. Building resilience through diversification of network types.
So the final thought for you to chew on is,
Uh,
how might understanding these unique network strengths, ancient trust engineered ecosystems, permissionless protocols, how might that transform your own investment strategy and help you build a more robust financial future?